A woman came to Florence Scovel Shinn with just $2, and shortly after, $6,000 came to her. Tonight I am giving you the exact secret she used. It is called the magic purse, a purse that is never empty. Here is the premise. Malachi 3:10 says, I will open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Read that again. A blessing so great, there is not room enough to receive it. That is overflow, that is abundance pressing in faster than you can hold it. And Florence understood this perfectly. She taught that your true supply does not come from a fixed pile of money out in the world that you must guard and ration. It comes from an endless, invisible source, a magic purse of the spirit that can never be depleted. As money goes out, money immediately comes back in, under grace, in perfect ways. Most people live in terror of their money running out. They clutch it, they fear every dollar leaving, and that very fear keeps them poor. Tonight you learn to carry the purse that never empties. Here is the affirmation. Speak it with me. I carry the magic purse of the Spirit. It can never run empty. My word is my wand. Say it again, and feel the security of it. I carry the magic purse of the Spirit. It can never run empty. My word is my wand. Feel that. You are no longer afraid of money leaving, because you carry a source that refills itself endlessly. And the moment you feel that, the fear that has gripped you for years begins to dissolve. If this is already speaking to you, just type 2 words in the comments right now. Magic purse. That is all. Just type magic purse, and let it be your declaration. Now let us begin, and let me give you the first key, which is understanding what the magic purse actually is. Because this is not a trick to get a pile of money once. It is a completely different way of seeing your supply. Florence taught that most people see money the way they see water in a bucket, a fixed amount that only goes down as they use it. So they live in constant fear of the bucket running dry. But the magic purse is not a bucket. It is a spring, a source, connected to an infinite supply that never stops flowing. When you drink from a spring, you do not fear it running dry, because it is fed by something endless beneath it. Florence taught that your real supply is exactly like that spring, fed by the infinite. And the magic purse is simply your recognition of that truth. It is knowing, deep down, that you are connected to a source that can never be exhausted. That as money flows out of your life, more is always flowing in to replace it. This single shift, from seeing a fixed bucket to seeing an endless spring, changes everything about how you hold money. You stop clutching. You stop fearing. You begin to relax into the knowledge that your supply is guaranteed by something far greater than your job or your circumstances. And let me make this real for you with the story I mentioned, because it shows the law in action. The woman who came to Florence had only $2, and by every appearance she was broke. But Florence did not treat the $2 as the whole of her supply. She treated them as a tiny visible piece of an invisible, endless source. She told the woman to bless the $2 and to know that she carried the magic purse of the Spirit that could never be depleted. And she had her picture the purse crammed and jammed with money. So filled with faith did the woman become, that she gave one of her $2 away as an offering, refusing to see lack. And shortly after, she received a gift of $6,000. Florence said it was fearless faith and the spoken word that brought it to pass. Notice what the woman did. She gave from her lack. She blessed her tiny supply, and she held the vivid picture of the overflowing purse. She acted from the endless source, not from the $2, and the endless source responded. This is the magic purse. It is not pretending you have money you do not have. It is recognizing that the little you can see is fed by an infinite supply you cannot yet see. The second key is why the vivid mental picture is the whole secret, because Florence was very specific about this. She did not just say, affirm that you have supply. She said, see it. She taught her students to picture the purse, crammed and jammed with money, bulging with abundance, filled with bills and checks and gold and silver, packed so full it could barely close. And she explained why. Because the imagination is the creative faculty. Whatever you vividly picture and feel as real, you impress upon the subconscious, and the subconscious brings it to pass. Florence said, it is impossible not to see your purse filled with money when you use the words crammed and jammed. Those words force the mind to build the picture, and the picture is what does the work. A flat, feelingless affirmation impresses nothing, but a vivid, felt image of your purse overflowing with money impresses the subconscious deeply. So you do not just say the words, you see the money, you feel the weight of the full purse in your hand. You picture it bulging, overflowing, unable to close, and you let that image become vivid and real. This is why the magic purse is so powerful. It forces the imagination to work, and the imagination is where all creation begins. And let me give you the exact picture Florence painted, because she was wonderfully specific. She described the purse crammed and jammed with money, yellow bills, green bills, checks of every color, gold and silver and currency, bulging so full of abundance that it could not close. She wanted the image to be rich, detailed, and overflowing, not a vague sense of having enough, but a vivid, almost overwhelming picture of overflow. And she taught that the more vivid and detailed the picture, the more powerfully it impresses the subconscious. So when you build your magic purse in your mind, do not be modest about it. See it stuffed, packed, overflowing. See the money spilling out. See it so full, it will barely stay shut. Feel the heavy weight of it in your hands. Hear the sound of it. Make the picture so real and so abundant that your mind cannot help but accept it, because a timid little picture produces timid little results. But a vivid picture of overwhelming overflow produces overflow. The imagination does not respond to half measures. It responds to bold, felt, detailed images held with conviction. Before I give you the next keys, let me be quick and direct with you, because the magic purse only works if you hold this consciousness every day. Not once, but continually, until it becomes your natural way of seeing money. And most people cannot sustain that alone. They feel the security for a moment. Then the old fear of lack creeps right back in. This is exactly why I built the Overflow Covenant, a 21-day sequence where one short Florence Scovel decree lands in your inbox every single morning to keep you in the consciousness of endless supply, day after day, until it becomes automatic. It is $27, one payment, 30-day full refund. The link is in the description. Begin it tonight, and let the first decree reach you in the morning. Now let me give you the third key, which is why the phrase, as money goes out, money comes in, breaks the fear of spending. Because this is where most people are trapped. Every time money leaves their hands, they feel a stab of fear, a tightening, a sense of loss. They watch their money go with dread. And Florence taught that this fear is itself a declaration of lack. It tells the subconscious there is not enough. And so there continues to be not enough. But the magic purse completely reverses this. Because when you truly carry the purse that never empties, spending money is no longer a loss. It becomes proof of the flow. Money goes out, and you know with certainty that more is already on its way in. Florence taught that you should send your money out fearlessly, and even with a blessing, because money that flows out with confidence and blessing returns to you multiplied. The person who clutches every dollar in fear blocks the flow, but the person who lets money move freely, knowing the purse refills, keeps the current moving, and a moving current is what brings abundance. So you stop dreading the money that leaves, you bless it, you let it go freely, and you trust the magic purse to fill again. And let me help you feel the difference this makes, because it is enormous. Imagine two people paying the exact same bill. The first pays it with dread, watching the money leave with fear, feeling smaller and poorer with every dollar gone. That person is impressing lack on their subconscious with every payment, and they wonder why money is always tight. The second pays the same bill knowing they carry the magic purse. They watch the money go and they think, good, the current is moving, and more is already flowing back to me. That person is impressing abundance and flow, and money keeps moving toward them. Same bill, same amount, completely opposite inner experience, and completely opposite results over time. Florence taught that it is not the spending that makes you poor. It is the fear and resentment attached to the spending. When you remove the fear, when you know the purse refills, spending becomes just one half of a beautiful cycle. Money flows out. Money flows in, out and in, endlessly, like breathing. And you would never fear breathing out, because you know the breath comes back. The magic purse teaches you to spend the way you breathe, freely, trusting the return. The fourth key is the law of blessing your money, because Florence taught something most people never consider, that how you feel about money as it leaves you determines what comes back. She taught that all money should be sent forth cheerfully and with a blessing, that you should bless the money you spend and even the money you give, because money is a form of God in action, and when you bless it on its way out, you keep yourself in harmony with your supply. Most people curse their money as it leaves. They pay their bills with resentment and fear. They hand over money with a clenched heart. And Florence taught that this is a grave mistake, because you cannot resent your outgoing money and expect abundance to flow back. So instead, when you pay a bill, you bless it, you give thanks that you have the money to pay it, and you send it out with the knowledge that it returns to you multiplied. When you tip, when you give, when you spend, you do it with a blessing and an open heart. This keeps the magic purse flowing, because the purse fills in proportion to how freely and how cheerfully you let it empty. Blessing your money is what keeps the endless current moving through your life. And here is why this matters more than it seems. Florence taught that money is a form of divine energy, that it is God in action moving through the world, and energy must circulate to stay alive. Water that stops moving becomes stagnant, but water that flows stays fresh and clear. Money is the same. When you hoard it in fear, when you send it out with resentment, you disrupt the flow. But when you let it move freely and bless it on its way, you keep the divine current circulating through your life. And a circulating current always returns to its source, enriched. She even taught that giving is a form of investment, that money sent out as a gift, cheerfully and with love, returns multiplied. This is why the woman with $2 gave one away. She was keeping the current moving, refusing to dam it up with fear. So bless the money that leaves your hands. Whether it is a bill, a purchase, or a gift, send it out with gratitude and love, and watch how it finds its way back to you. The magic purse is not a purse that only takes in. It is a purse that flows, and the flowing is exactly what keeps it full. The fifth key is the daily protocol for carrying the magic purse. And it is simple, but it must be constant. In the morning, you affirm it and you see it. I carry the magic purse of the Spirit. And you picture it crammed and jammed with abundance, setting the consciousness of endless supply for your day. Through the day, every time money comes up, every time you spend, every time you feel that old flicker of fear, you return to the magic purse. You see it full again. You bless the money leaving, and you refuse to fall back into the fear of lack. At night, as you drift towards sleep, you carry the image of your overflowing purse into your dreams. You fall asleep in the feeling of endless, secure supply. This is the rhythm. Affirm and picture it in the morning. Hold it, and bless your money through the day, and carry the image into sleep at night. And you do it every single day, until carrying the magic purse is no longer something you practice, but simply how you see your money. The constant consciousness of overflow is what makes the overflow real. And let me explain why the constancy matters so much. Because the magic purse is not a spell you cast once. It is a consciousness you live in. And consciousness is built by repetition. The fear of lack that most people carry was not installed in a single day. It was built through years of anxious thoughts about money, years of watching every dollar with dread. And that deep pattern does not dissolve after one affirmation. It dissolves through a new pattern, practiced faithfully until it becomes stronger than the old one. This is why the morning matters. You set the consciousness fresh each day before the world can hand you fear. And the daytime matters, because every money moment is either reinforcing the old lack pattern or the new overflow pattern, and you consciously choose overflow each time. And the night matters, because the last consciousness you carry into sleep sinks the deepest, so you fall asleep carrying the full purse, not the empty one. And this daily rhythm of living in the magic purse consciousness is exactly what the overflow covenant makes automatic. Because the hardest part is not understanding the magic purse. It is remembering to carry it every single day when the old fear keeps pulling you back. The decree arrives each morning to place the consciousness of endless supply in your mind, day after day, until the magic purse is simply how you see. The sixth key is the deepest truth of all, that endless supply is a state you carry, not an amount you hold. Because most people think wealth is a number in an account, a fixed amount they are trying to reach. But Florence taught that true wealth is a consciousness, a state of knowing you are connected to an inexhaustible source. The magic purse is not really about the purse. It is about the state of mind that knows supply is endless. And here is the profound part. When you carry that state, when you genuinely live from the consciousness of the magic purse, the outer money must follow, because the outer always reflects the inner. A person with a poverty consciousness will lose money as fast as they get it, because their inner state is one of lack. But a person who carries the magic purse consciousness, who truly knows their supply is endless, will find that money flows to them and stays, because their inner state is one of overflow. You do not chase the full purse. You become the person who carries it. You cultivate the inner state of endless supply, and the outer abundance forms around that state. Being the one who carries the magic purse always comes before having the overflowing account. And I want to address the doubt you may feel, because part of you may be thinking, how can simply carrying a consciousness produce actual money in my actual account? And this doubt is the very thing that keeps people poor. They cannot accept that the inner produces the outer, so they stay trapped in the world of fear and lack, forever trying to fix the outer while their inner state keeps recreating the same shortage. But consider what you have surely seen. Consider how some people seem to always have enough. Money flows to them, and even when they lose it, more comes. While others cannot hold money no matter how much they earn, it slips through their fingers again and again. The difference is never really the amount they start with. It is the consciousness they carry. The one who carries lack will return to lack.